include the prevention, detection, and also other measures from the legislative point of view.
Quebec's public security minister says a bill will be tabled in the National Assembly before June 12th. Defense Minister Jason Kenney says the conflict against ISIS will be determined by the success or failure of the Iraqi security forces. The militants took control of the city of Ramadi over the weekend. Kenney calls the loss of Ramadi a regrettable setback, but it won't change Canada's military strategy.
Canada has no intention of contributing ground forces to a ground combat operation in Iraq. The Iraqi security forces must be capable of defending their own people and their own territory on the ground.
In March, Parliament extended Canada's military mission in Iraq for another year and expanded it to include airstrikes against ISIS targets in Syria. 5 of the largest global banks have pleaded guilty to charges related to manipulating foreign currencies and interest rates, and they've agreed to pay billions of dollars in fines. The U.S. Department of Justice alleges that traders would swap client orders for currencies and then profit from them. Jenny Lee has more.
They'll plead guilty to conspiring to fix exchange rates, conspiring with each other to fix these rates on the global currency market, manipulating rates specifically for the U.S. dollar and for the euro, and that was to make personal profit. Here are the 4 players who describe themselves as the cartel. J.P. Morgan Chase, which is the biggest bank in the U.S., Citigroup, which is the number 3 player in the U.S. banking, and 2 British giants, you've heard of them, the Royal Bank of Scotland and Barclays. Now, they will pay $2.5 billion in fines over this, and a 5th bank, the Swiss bank, UBS, will also agree to pay $203 million. So all told, we are talking about a total of $10 billion to date in fines.
That's Jeannie Lee in Toronto. UNESCO has called for an immediate halt to fighting at the ancient World Heritage Site of Palmyra in Syria. Pro-Syrian government militias there evacuated residences as ISIS militants infiltrated the city. UN officials note there is an international obligation to protect cultural heritage sites, even in conflicts, by avoiding targeting such sites or using them in military maneuvers. ISIS militants have destroyed historical artifacts at other sites in recent months. The state of California is dealing with a big environmental mess today. At least 80,000 liters of crude oil has spilled from a pipeline, fouling some pristine beaches near Santa Barbara. A slip more than 6 kilometers long is beginning to wash ashore. Captain Jennifer Williams with the U.S. Coast Guard heads the response team.
Oil recovery tends to be a complicated process that involves a lot of manual labor and taking environmental factors like wind, current, and weather into consideration. It can be a slow process, but we want to make sure that we do it right so we can get the beaches back to its pristine condition.
The complete environmental impact is still unclear, but sea lions have already been spotted in the slick. Late-night TV show host David Letterman is getting a lot of attention on this, his last day on the job after 33 years in front of the camera. And so too is Canadian Paul Schaefer, his sidekick and band leader for all those years. Schaefer was born in Thunder Bay, which today declared this, what else, Schaefer Day. The eccentric 65-year-old says he's not really retiring, but he notes his schedule has opened up a bit. That's the CBC News this hour.